A Texas man remains in a Dallas jail cell today, charged with murdering his girlfriend because he was reportedly upset she got an abortion. Police say surveillance video shows Gabriela Gonzalez's boyfriend, Harold Thompson, pulled out a gun and shot Gonzalez during a confrontation in a Dallas parking lot Wednesday. Gonzalez had just returned from getting an abortion in Colorado because Texas has banned abortions after roughly 6 weeks of pregnancy. Police say Thompson was believed to be the father of the child. A troubling new report reveals violence at abortion clinics is up triple digits since Roe v. Wade was overturned. Data compiled by the National Abortion Federation shows that clinics saw a 231% rise in burglaries, a 229% jump in stalking, and a 100% spike in arson over the last year. Melissa Fowler, the chief program officer at the National Abortion Federation, says the data is proof of what we have known to be true. Anti-abortion extremists have been emboldened by the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade and the cascade of abortion bans that followed. Melissa Fowler joins me now. And Melissa, you talked to a lot of people about what they are seeing. I want to play just part.
We had someone that tried to throw a Molotov cocktail at the clinic in Louisiana at Hope Medical. And fortunately it was at night. But after that, they couldn't have windows anymore. So they had no windows in the building whatsoever. It was completely just dark, just like the indoor lighting, lamps and overhead lighting. So you just never really knew what time of day it was when you were at work. But it had to be like that because people, would throw Molotov cocktails at the building sometimes.
What are some of the key takeaways from your report?
Well, unfortunately, this isn't surprising. We expected this when the Dobbs decision was leaked. We saw an immediate uptick in people online calling for violence against clinics, calling for people to go and commit arsons and to not wait for the decision. We were hearing from our members that we're starting to see increased and just more intense activity because people were so emboldened by the decision from the Supreme Court to overturn Roe versus Wade, and then by all of the state bans that followed. And so I think it's particularly important for people to understand that when a clinic closes, the people that target that clinic don't just pick up and go home. In many cases, they travel to other communities or even move to other states to target the clinics there. And that's what the data showed this year, that the clinics in protective states really had some disproportionate increases in things like assault, stalking, obstructions, burglary. And they were really more targeted by the anti-abortion individuals and groups that moved to focus on them.
I want to focus on that again in a little bit, but there's been a 25% increase in clinic break-ins, and there's been a 20% increase in death threats. I mean, have these places been able to afford security as a result here?
Well, security is always a major concern and major expense for abortion providers. We run a really comprehensive program. We go out and do site visits and make recommendations and help advise people about security. But we do see that sometimes clinics just don't have the finances or resources to make those upgrades. And the 25% increases in invasions, and that's when people are actually forcibly breaking into clinics during the day while patients are there. They invade the waiting rooms, they harass patients and staff. It's often very traumatic for the people who are there, and they refuse to leave until law enforcement comes and removes them. And it's just a tactic to try and delay care. And while it might delay care by a few hours, clinics stay open, people stay there and get their care. It's just pretty traumatic for them.
We only have a minute left, but talk to me here about what you're finding, and that is people actually traveling to those protected states that we were talking about to engage in violence.
Absolutely. We've seen that for years. After Dr. Tiller was murdered in 2009, the people that lived in Wichita and targeted him picked up and moved to Albuquerque and other places. And we've seen that in the last year. We track these movements. We've heard of people picking up and going to other states. And we're hearing from our members on the ground in these protective states that they have just major increases in picketing, obstructions, assaults, and even stalking.
Are you finding that these are specific people who are doing this over and over again, or are you finding that there are new people who are engaging in this kind of behavior?
It's both. There are definitely a lot of people who are very active in this movement, who are organized, who coordinate, that we know about and have been tracking. And then they're using things like social media and other platforms to spread their message and encourage other people to join them.
Melissa Fowler, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.